Tuesday, March 11th, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. I start out with stock indexes, go to futures, and some other topics occasionally, cycles, psychology of trading, a variety of things. So, we have had a double or triple top. In this case, it's probably you could call it a triple top, but it doesn't matter. The downside objective is measured the same way and comes out to the same measurement. So we have dropped precipitously over the last few days. Volatility has increased significantly. We had one of the biggest down days in many, many months yesterday, at one point about 20, 21, something like that, lower on the day. And that was SPY points, full points, or 200, if you will, on the ES. Now we're oversold again and still have been oversold for a couple of weeks now, but it's not stopping the decline. Today we're down another 5 points, very close to the low of the day, but now we are beginning to encounter a support area. Yesterday's low is just a little bit above it. Today's low, or overnight and currently, we're right on top of the support area in oversold condition. This is a very possible price level from which the market could bounce a significant amount. Now, a bounce probably doesn't quite describe the rally that might happen, and it could easily be all the way back up to, say 5,800, and maybe even a little bit further than that. I'll say 5,850, but that's about as best I can forecast if we get it started, and it could start at any point here, but not quite yet. We're still low and last, and still in a situation where it looks like it's the right spot, but in other technical situations, but it really hasn't turned around. Okay, let's look at the 1 minute chart. And you can see that yesterday afternoon, California time, around 6 o'clock, we hit a lower low for the move down. Pretty good bounce, not spectacular, slightly higher than the previous day's close, and stayed there essentially overnight. And about 5 o'clock in the morning, started to drop again. And so far, we just barely made another new low around 7:30. And of course, right now it's coming close to 10 o'clock. And here we are pushing the lows again, down 6.4 or 63, 64 on the E-mini. Looks like it's going to make new lows again. So that's exactly what I'm expecting. I don't think this market is bottoming out, but it is in a situation where it could. I don't see any exhaustion weakness here. I see a market marching its way down, 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 usually at the bottom of a bear move or bear market or sharp break, etc. You have exhaustion weakness, which is a super fast, big, sharp break, or maybe a gap down situation overnight. Exhaustion weakness. Sorry, don't see it. I'm looking for a new low here any minute. SPY, pretty much the same exact story. Support's not holding. We didn't reach a downside objective yet. On the E-mini, my downside objective again would be 54.50. And now here we are, 55.60. So we're getting awful close. And the SPY is the same story. Downside objective 543-ish. And we're at 555 at the moment, coming down. And about to, it looks like, make new lows. There's nothing exhaustion weakness appearing here. QQQ, same thing. It did get slightly lower than yesterday's low. We are in a prime position to have a big upside reversal. It's just not happening so far. And I do expect new lows. But if we hold and the market doesn't make new lows, or it makes new lows by a very small amount, and we do start to get above today's or the session's highs, that's going to change things a bit. because it would be no surprise if it does start to hold, but it's not yet bouncing. So you'd be awfully gutsy to be buying it down here. Maybe very small risk, but I think it's going to make new lows. Next, we got the NASDAQ futures almost to my minimum downside objective. And this led the way down, except maybe you could talk about the Russell if you wanted, but it's not the same animal. So here we are in a support area and oversold condition, very much so, and almost to my minimum downside objective. And the 1 minute chart looks to me like it could make new lows for the last few hours and probably new lows for the whole day, or session, I should say, which was yesterday afternoon. And what do we got? The YM did break out of its double top. Yesterday it came down, broke out, closed right smack on the breakout level, so it didn't stay there on a closing basis. But today, it looks like it's going to stay there and drop off even more. We are low and last and making new lows as we speak. Yep, on the YM. And it's supposed to get down to as low as, for the downside objective, 38,280. And today's the first day it's starting that downside objective. So if the YM does get all the way down to my forecasted objective, 38,280, will all the other indexes drop off substantially lower than my downside objective? That's quite possible, but I don't see it at the moment. So I'm thinking maybe the YM won't get all the way down where it's supposed to, and everything will turn back up. I can't tell yet. Here's your 1 minute chart on the YM, and it's just simply dropping off to new lows. And the Russell basically matched yesterday's lows, oversold. Everything is oversold and almost at support. You know, we're at the lowest lows in the Russell since a bit of a bottom in April of 24, almost a whole year ago. Next, and it's just the 1 minute Russell. Looks like it's going to, hit the lows and make new lows. Bonds. After rallying a little bit more this morning in bonds, we have turned around and we're now lower on the day by about 15. Remember, my forecasted low is supposed to be on March 14th. Is that actually a calendar day, trading day? Friday, good, yeah. And my forecasted price is 115.11. Call it 115.12, 115.11, 115.10. And the reason I've come up with that point in time is because of this time span from the first shoulder to the head, and then you take the same time span and go from the head to the theoretical date for the last shoulder low. The price level oftentimes is very, very close to the same prices where it bottomed out before, which in the case of bonds was 115.11, give or take a tick or two. So that's it. Friday, 115.11, and back up again, I hope. We're now lower on the day by 16, and there's a chance the market could even make a new low before the close. It's selling off in general. 10-year notes, same kind of situation. Although my timing for the last shoulder low in notes was approximately today or yesterday. So it has already maybe had its last shoulder low. If I'm right in bonds, I expect the notes to at least challenge, if not make a minor new low also. It wouldn't do any harm. The timing is good. The prices are a little bit too high for notes at the moment. Let's look at energies, crude, etc. Oversold, trying to bottom out, made a minor new low for 3 days and is now higher than yesterday's close, up a little on the day, not much. But any bullish engulfing at this point would set off a green ER signal, buy signal. We do have the possibility. It wouldn't be too hard for it to make new highs for the day and get above yesterday's high, and that would do the trick. And we could do a bullish engulfing anytime in the next few days and get a good signal out of this, from a little lower even. as long as it was oversold within the last few days. Also, same story goes for heating oil. Now oversold, has a lower low than yesterday. All it needs to do is get above yesterday's high, and then we'd have a bullish engulfing. No particular support area right here. We already dropped below that. But because of the RSI and the potential of a bullish engulfing, looks like it may be trying to turn. That's about the best I can say for heating oil, back up again. And natural gas, pretty much the exact opposite. Looks like a little bit of a blow off top there, opened a little higher, ran up a lot, and came all the way back to around where it opened. Today we're fairly steady, a little tiny bit lower. But that big Skype up there looks like, I think, what's called a hammer, as far as the candlesticks are concerned. So I think we're going to get a top here in natural gas, but my conviction level is not particularly super high. Gold, silver, platinum all have bullish engulfings today. We're not oversold, so we're not getting a buy signal, but I do like bullish engulfings, and they usually help prices work up. The trend is up. We already had a retracement to support. It just stalled out these last few days. But now I've got something to grab onto, the bullish engulfing, and if we stay higher than yesterday's close, I think we're about to go up and make new highs for the whole trend. Same comment for silver, almost exactly. Same comment for platinum, almost exactly. Various support levels, outside up day, which is a bullish engulfing. Yeah. And interestingly enough, even copper has joined the group. Support is almost tested. We have an outside up day for copper, even though it's not a precious metal. And what about the grains? Beans, oil, meal, corn, wheat. Beans have a little bit lower low than yesterday, and it's coming down slowly a little bit for the last day or so. But we did test support very nicely. It did bounce off of it, and it was oversold. So I'm voting for steady to higher. And if we do start to accelerate and get up to 111 on 1,100 on a closing or higher basis, it'll be a breakout to the upside off of this bottom, and an upside objective of probably in the neighborhood of, and I wonder what happened to my cursor, crosshair, turn on, good. Upside objective of around 1208. Next, the soybean oil challenged lows, still a little lower. Well, yeah, up a few ticks, or about, no, it's down 5, sorry. And not coming back at the moment, but support, oversold. Don't think it's going to go crashing into new lows at this point. I think it's trying to turn back up. And soybean meal at the moment, around unchanged, up a few ticks. Minor new low, very minor, trying to turn around, slightly higher at the moment. Support area was oversold a few days ago. Any kind of an outside up day at the moment could generate a buy signal. Next, we've got corn. Was oversold, minor new high, chewing away at resistance a little bit. I think it's going to continue to work higher. Now, I have drawn in a couple of days ago the indicator of a shoulder low, and the date was March 4th, oversold. That correlates with a buy signal ER right on the smack dab bottom, of course, February 26th of 24. So that means the formation is almost exactly a year plus a little bit in size. It has inside it a head and shoulder bottom, which worked already past tense, and it went up to its objective and a little bit further. So is this larger one, which contains the smaller head and shoulder in it? Patterns inside of patterns are not super common, but they're not all that rare. And this could be exactly that. I've seen plenty of them. So let's see if we can get some more strength here. And if we start to cross over the neckline, which is around 518, 1920, then you'll have an upside breakout with a minimum upside objective of click on the lowest low and go straight up to where the neckline is and let go of the line. That is now the depth of the formation. You take that and you move it over to the right. I think I did this yesterday. Didn't I have another one? Yep, I certainly did. Okay. Your upside objective is 633, give or take, or more. And that's exactly what I'm forecasting if the pattern continues to work as it should. Next, well, we have somewhat of a triple bottom in wheat and a doji, an inside trading range, down just a very slight bit, close to current, relatively speaking. But we're starting to work our way above a little bit of resistance on yesterday's close, and we're still slightly higher than the resistance area, which is now a little support. Let's see how this works. Again, I'm trying to justify, and I have been trying to justify for months now, a long-term bottom building in grains. And we've got cattle. We got a buy signal on cattle on the 4th of March. Great. Accelerated for 3-4 days up very nicely. Great. Today we're dipping back a little bit. No surprise. We were almost overbought yesterday. So a little bit of a dip's fine. Maybe back to about 193-ish. And then back up again. Next, Miss Piggy, hogs. Minor dip after being oversold in a support area. Too bad we didn't get a buy signal in hogs. Looking for probably a little bit sideways in here. You've got some resistance above, some support below. And we could even get kind of stuck in there. If I was forced to make a decision, it would be up. But I'm not super convinced about that. And we're back to the E-mini, which is getting super close to the low. Have we made a new low? We have made a new low for this session in the E-mini. We have made or about to make a new low for the spider, of course. And the QQQ is coming closer and closer to new lows. And also the NASDAQ is coming closer, but is still a little bit of a ways from the low. You guys have a great day and profitable trading to you.